What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast that no one listens to. I'm your host, Kevin Porter. Sorry, I'm so out of breath from all the bong hits I was taking. What's up, dude? What are you guys all doing this week, dude? What's back for another week that was here on the podcast that no one listens to. As you can see in the title, it's the end of an era. Come on, bring it in. Oh, I can't believe it. Almost 5 years of doing weekly episodes, and we are calling it quits. Damn, calling it quits on a legacy. No, man, we're actually building on the legacy, dude. We're out there doing new things now, dude. We're Video Rental Chaos is our main project, pretty much. Okay, so again, these nice little, little chats that we've become accustomed to over the last, 4 years and 9 months or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, man, we're getting condensed 7-minute episodes of me talking a little bit of shit about movies. So, hey, you get what you get, man. You're not paying anything for it. So I don't want to hear any fucking tears in the audience. All right. I don't want to hear no sniffling. I don't want to hear nothing. We're here for a celebration. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for coming back for the final episode. Damn, dude. It's crazy. Today, man, I kind of dawned on me. I was like, fuck, we got to put out that episode today. Today's like the day to put out the final episode. And like, tell you the truth, even as I'm recording it, I mean, like, I have like mixed feelings, I guess, about it. It's like on one hand, I'm kind of just relieved to like kind of just get a walk away. And it's like, I don't got to worry about this anymore. It's one burden I don't have on my daily life. I'm not having to like, work around having to like get people on here, which like honestly, dude, was like such an enjoyment over the last like ever since our the first guest that we ever had on here was Aaron Bennett and Timmy from Cats, Timmy from 94.5 Cats, Manic Thunder, whatever. They were those two dudes I go back a long ways with, obviously back to when we were all on Spin This with Kevin Porter, and yeah, man, they were my first guests on here, dude. And we were like playing pool. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, yeah, we're going to record a podcast, right? They're like, yeah, let's play game pool. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. I kind of just went with the fucking flow, and like we just did it. And so from there, dude, I really kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I kind of found myself over these last like 4 years in terms of like, I don't know, like if you were to ask me, like, are you a shy person? And it's like, I kind of like, I don't necessarily like going out of my way for shit, but it's like, I built up such like a callous to having to like put myself in like awkward situations like that to where it's like, okay, well, now I don't think twice about it, but maybe like 4 years ago, I was thinking a little differently. I don't know. Even then I was still okay with being around people and stuff. I mean, it's like, I've always been all right with it, but deep down though, dude, I'm like, I'm pretty much kind of a recluse and I stay hidden. I don't go out in public anymore, man. I don't go to the bars. I don't go fucking do shit like that. That part of my life ended a long time ago, dude. Probably around the time frame we started recording this podcast, honestly, dude. I mean, to be completely honest with you guys, I think like, yeah, it was about, we started this podcast in like 2017, dude. It's crazy. It's like the last like, 8 years, man, 10 years has just gone by way too quick for me, dude. So it's crazy. But again, one final time here on the podcast that no one listens to. I don't know. I was trying to think like what I was talking about, but like the bong hits are hitting me. It was like, whoa, you gotta celebrate. I don't know, man. I just, I'm just, again, yeah, man. I feel like I've I definitely have found myself in terms of like, putting myself in awkward situations is sometimes a good thing. I think it's good, and having to sit here in this room at this table, sitting across from people. That like I don't know, maybe I'm meeting for pretty much the first time in a lot of times for some people, and yeah, dude, you get that experience of just like learning how to conversate with people, dude. You kind of like, I don't know, like we never put a lot of like effort in terms of like, okay, questions, what do we do for questions? I remember back in the day when we were doing the Spin This Presents back on the public access station, we'd have local bands come in. We'd record an interview section, part, and I'd always sit down and like write out questions for it, which is smart. If you should know what you're talking about, know what you're doing in certain situations. But like, I don't know, with this podcast, I've always just kind of like just felt that like, all right, we're capturing a moment, that's all we're doing. Like we're not coming in here trying to be something we're not, dude. We're not trying to be the most, we're not trying to be the best fucking production out there or anything like that by far, dude. It's just like capture the moment, and it is what it is. It's like it's either it's good, what it is, whatever, dude. But you look at like a lot of the episodes, and I would probably say a lot of it was pretty much garbage, in that sense, but like at the same time though, it's not garbage. It's not fair to call it garbage or anything like that, because it's there, it's there, and people can look at it, they can listen to it, sometimes they can watch it. For the last like year and a half, 2 years, I guess, actually, since COVID started, we started doing the Zooms. It's crazy to think that's like 2 years ago we started doing that. Yeah, man, we went through COVID together, all of us. That was pretty crazy. Hope that never comes back. Now it's World War III. No. Stay on positive subjects, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, man, so, I've had like, I don't know, like maybe I should have taken the time to like look through the list of people that have been on, this podcast, which a lot of them got taken down. So a lot of them are in my hard drive, which I don't have my hard drive hooked up to my computer right now. So it's like, I have all those episodes. I have them all. They're all just like put away though. So I don't have them here. Fuck copyright motherfuckers, which now I know. I learned my lesson. No more using copyrighted music. It's bad. Bad, Kevin. Fucking jeez. Come on, guys. Get together. You fucking 36 years old. Still getting in trouble for using a Beastie Boys song. Come on, man. What's up? Yeah, I don't know, man. So like, I kind of miss, doing this and going through this process, because like when you're in the moment and you're feeling it and you're like, oh man, recording a podcast, like it's fun. Like it's, I don't know, dare say nothing, more real than capturing that moment of life, and that's like what you're looking for. And I don't know, man. Like we talk a lot about like favorite episodes and shit on this episode, because like our final guest today is Mcnay, which Mcnay, man, I don't know. That kid holds a special place in my heart, dude. Like, I don't know, like met him just randomly through stand-up comedy, over at Hop Nation. And like we bonded instantly over professional wrestling. And from there, man, I mean, dude, through COVID, I mean, talk about that, dude. We went and did our own, wrestling podcast, which was an amazing time, fun, lived, served its purpose. And we all move on, and here we are, man. That's how life is, dude. We evolve, we become better, It's like, again, it's not like, I don't know, you don't want to be like the guy from Chucky, Don Mancini or whatever, the creator of Chucky, that's like, hey guys, my whole entire life is Chucky. And it's like, hey, have you seen the new Chucky movie? It's like, you've seen one Chucky movie, you've seen them all, dude. I don't know. Congratulations on the USA Network special, Don, but shit, man. I don't know, dude. And I think I've learned that over the years, like I've been saying, dude. I've definitely like learned. I've definitely learned. Yeah, man, that, I don't know what I was going to say. I've learned that everything serves its purpose. I guess that's what I was going to say, but it's like, that doesn't really sound that smart. It's pretty fucking stupid. Why was I even going to say that? What the fuck? This is the part of the podcast you don't like. He's like, I want to fucking stop recording. I want to delete that. But it's like, you're not going to put the effort in to actually fix it. It's like, it's there forever. It's like, this freak out is brought to you by, water. Because everybody has water. It's like, no, Coca-Cola owns the water, ladies and gentlemen. Coca-Cola, brought to you by Dasani. What? Yeah, so I guess I'll kind of miss it to a point, but I don't know, man. Just like doing other projects and stuff. It's just like that video rental chaos show takes a lot of fucking time, dude. That takes a lot of fucking time. And like, albeit like we're saying, dude, like, the podcast doesn't necessarily take up like my entire week or anything, dude. But, getting guests in here and just, maintaining, time away editing this, because it definitely does take me like an hour, 2 hours, depending on what it is, to export this shit and like get the promo, picture all fucking done up and stuff, and like, putting it all together and stuff, so whatever, dude. Uploading it, all that good stuff. So a lot of busy work. There's a lot of busy work when it comes to this these types of productions, man. So it's not a fly by night fucking scene right here, man. We actually do fucking work during the day. What do you mean I sit on the couch, play video games? All he wanted to do was play his video games. Just let him live his dream, man. So, I don't I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, dude. So yeah, we talk a lot about like, favorite episodes on here, and just off the top of my head, man, I think Brandon Allen by far is like one of my favorite guests. Like if it wasn't Jay Mcnay being the final guest, like Brandon Allen would be the alternate choice on that one, dude. It was just the fact that me and Brandon actually did an episode just within the last like month or two. So it was kind of like fresh. So it was like, all right, if we're gonna end this, let's throw Jay in. It's been like, it'd been like, I don't know, it'd been a little bit. Like I haven't seen Jay since like Jay hasn't been on the podcast since like fuck, dude. Like I don't know when that episode dropped, but I definitely recorded that like in the end of August. So it's actually been a little bit. But yeah, man, just like oh man, we reached out to oh fuck. I don't know. We reached out to so many different people, dude, for this podcast. And, again, I don't know. We had a lot of cool people on here. I'm trying to, like, Jaime was always fun. We always talk about that. I don't know. I'm fucking high as shit, guys. Oh, shit. See, this is the part where I fuck up. And it's like, this is legit. Like, this ain't me fucking around. So I just legitimately fuck up. I was like, Kevin, we've tried this already, like, fucking 10 fucking times. So it's like, I don't know. Whatever, dude. 4.5 years, dude. Fucking, it was always fun having like Josh Bryant on the podcast. Eric Smestead was always fun to have on. Trevor Shea, shout out Trevor Shea. He was always we had him on a couple times. We always did those ones by phone. So Trevor, I don't really know Trevor really, through adult years and whatnot, but definitely as teenagers we hung out and shit. So it was always like cool to catch up and stuff. And it's always fun doing those ones by phone. When we learned how to do a couple of those Google Voice ones, those were fun. Yeah. What else, man? I don't know, man. I'm fucking high as shit. I guess we had Jessica on a handful of times. That was always fun having her on. That was always like pulling teeth with her. He was like, hey, I need a guest on the show. Like, I guess I'll do it. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. She's like, fine, just like throws up her hands. It's like when she did that sketch, I was like, you probably gonna like want to do a little bit of makeup, like put some makeup on, not in a mean way or anything, but like when you're doing like video and stuff, like girl, if you're a girl, you probably want to like look nice, she didn't want to do it. I was like, all right, whatever, let's shoot it. So we shot the video, and then she watched it when I posted it later. She's like, I should have put makeup. I was like, yeah, I told you, I fucking told you, lady. I don't know, dude. Yeah, we've just had a lot of fun on this shit, dude. It's just fun hanging out with people. To take back, dude. Like talking about, just last week's episode. Those dudes were, again, people I never knew. Until this podcast, they hit me and be like, hey, man, can we be on your wrestling podcast? I'm like, of course you can be on my wrestling podcast. Of course, And then, yeah, dude. So, shout out Kevin Richardson. Kevin Richardson, I always loved, dude. He did local plays here in Yakima, Washington back in the day, dude. So local like punk rock plays, dude. Like he just put them on, dude. Like he hit up the Unitarian Church and just put them on, dude. Like we did Hair, did The Graduate, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Handful of plays, dude. And it was the only time I was ever on play, dude. And Kevin Richardson's like, I always remember the audition I did for him. Audition for Hair, because I never like met Kevin. I met him through Brandon Allen, and he's like, oh yeah, this dude's doing plays. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, go audition. And so I did it, and it's like he was like, they want you to sing, and I'm like, I fucking hate singing, so I'm like, la 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 la. And like I tried. I definitely did try, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to hear back from him. Like I just honestly, as I left, I was like, nope. But he gave me a fucking spot. He gave me a spot, dude, to learn, so I learned my lines, and like, it was my first experience, like memorizing stuff. And, yeah, it was fun, dude. I mean, well, I've memorized stuff because we've done movies in the past, dude. So I should take that back. I mean, like, but like when you do a play, it's different than a movie, because a movie, you don't necessarily have to like memorize the movie script. You memorize the scenes as they come. So like basically when you're aware of the script, you read the script, you become the script. But at the same time, like, in terms of shooting it though, man, like, you don't have to memorize your lines right then and there. You have your dailies, all that stupid shit. Not saying I've done a lot of fucking movies or anything, but I've been on a movie set a couple different times. So anyway, but with the play, you gotta have all that shit memorized. So you gotta fucking be able to ready to go. And we're only doing one shot, dude. We're only doing one play. So, or one, showing of the play, I should say. So yeah, dude, that was totally fun, man. And yeah, I gotta do The Graduate, because somebody had dropped out. Kevin had asked me to do the lead, which I remember I accepted it because it was like one of those things like, all right, here's this opportunity, it's given to you, just take it, just take it. It was in a time in my life where I'm like, don't say no to projects. And so I did it, and then like I memorized that whole entire script, and like I just like, I would never say I'm a professional actor in any sense. Cause I'm not a fucking actor, but like I can memorize things and like I've gotten pretty, I feel like I'm okay at like giving emotion and stuff and like doing, what's asked of me of like whatever the director asked me and whatnot. So, I don't know, dude. Like, so like, yeah, I got my way through that. And I told Kevin, I was like, dude, I never want to be a lead ever again. Like ever again, dude. I don't want to ever have to memorize that many fucking lines ever again, dude. No, never again, dude. So, I don't know, dude. But I mean, it taught me some shit because like within like the next couple of years, that's when I started doing stand up comedy again after I did those plays, and like that taught me like kind of like it just gave me like I don't know because like when I started doing stand up comedy all those years ago, when Aaron Bennett was like, "Hey, you want to go do an open mic?" and I'm like, "Yeah, let's go do it." What's an open mic? Because I was never a fan of stand up comedy as a kid or anything. Like it wasn't until he showed it, basically introduced me to stand up comedy. I was like, I guess I was like 20 years old, and I was 21 because I was able to drink the first time. So I was definitely at least 21, 22 when I first started doing it. And like, I didn't know shit, dude. Like Aaron would help me with my jokes and like, I'd come up with these premises and like come over there and he'd just help me write out my punchlines. I would just like memorize them, and just go up there and do them. And I was never really adding on to anything. I was like, I didn't really understand the whole process of like going back and like rewriting stuff and like just making things better. I was just like, I'm just gonna go up there, and then sometimes I would just go up there, obviously, and just like wing it, and like, for the most part, I had most of my shit down, I think, but like, I winged a lot of it. So it's like I got MC work, but like I only got it a couple times up there just because like I came back with the same fucking material, and it's like, Kevin, you can't fucking do that. You're going up there multiple times, the same place, within a handful of weeks of each other. You got to have new material, especially these are returning customers, dude. It's like 22, dude. I didn't fucking know this shit. I don't know this shit. No one's really telling me. So you just kind of learn this shit as you go along. So I stopped doing stand up, and then I just continually, would hop on stage every, a couple of years, man. It felt like just for fun, I always felt like you get a little bit better each time you spend time in that craft. And so after I got done doing those plays, I started doing stand up again. That's when the Sports Center came around, and like that's, I guess, like we were doing the podcast at that point. Yeah, we were doing the podcast at that point. So it's kind of like where our journey was, like 2017, 2018, just doing stand up, which I kind of again came at it with the same approach as I had before, just again kind of winging it in a sense. And I did that for like, I don't know, probably like the first year of being back doing stand up, at least maybe the first year and a half or so. But then like, I don't know, for some reason it just finally clicked because I started like studying. I started actually the second time around, I was like, that's when like, shout out Cindy Jones, dude. She's the one that, through my work, man, we just, she told me about all these like, these podcasts and stuff. I'm into podcasts at that point. So I'm like, oh yeah, Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz, Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer. So I started listening to these guys. And then from there, I find like, Legion of Skanks, Kill Tony, just like all this world of stand-up comedy, dude, like the current, the what stand-up comedy is. And like, I don't know, cause like beforehand I didn't have the internet. I was just renting fucking stand-up shows, stand-up specials from like Hollywood Video or something, right? Or Blockbuster. But now it's like the internet and podcasts. So it's a different age, dude. So I felt like I would go and just listen to these podcasts all day. And you're just listening to these like professional comedians like talk about doing stand up and like what they did to become successful at it. And you're like, oh, okay. Then you start putting all everything together and you're like, oh yeah, I wish I would have fucking knew this when I was 22, but hey, so like, that's kind of when I started clicking for me. It was like, okay, cool. This is how you do it. So I started like really applying myself to like, the work ethic to it. And I started seeing some results like pretty quickly. I thought, it's like nothing, again, not the funniest guy in the fucking world or anything, but hey, I'm making small steps here and there and shit. So I'm proud of that. I see the improvement. And then COVID hits and it's like, here we are. So I don't know, dude, but like because of Kevin Richardson though, I think like, I don't know, just the work of the memorizing those plays was like, it goes a long way with like memorizing. Cause like now it's like, with the stand up, yeah, I feel really easy about memorizing things, dude. Cause I'm like doing these video rental chaos shows, dude. And like I have to write these out. Right. So like all these lines and stuff. So it's just like, I don't know. I look at it, boom, boom. I say it a couple times. I'm like, okay, boom, boom. I get in front of the camera. I'm just like, pop, 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 and just knock it out, dude. And it's like, okay, next one. It's like you're doing it for an hour. You're just like, fuck, okay, we can take a break, but it's like, I got to keep momentum and shit. So, yeah, man, I fucking love it. So it all started kind of there. I don't know. I've always enjoyed memorizing things. I guess I've always had a talent for that. I guess, or not necessarily a talent, but just like I can do it. So I guess it's somewhat of a talent. So not everybody can do it. They're like, how do you get in front of people? It's like, I don't know. You just gotta black out for a second. Like you kind of know what you're gonna say, and then you go up there, just like fake it till you make it. Like throw some energy out there with it. Say it loud, say it proud. It's like being enforce your fucking will on these people, dude. In such a not nice way of saying it, but like, impose your will is what they say. It's just like you get up on stage, dude, and you're like, this is what we're saying, this is why we're saying it, and you're gonna fucking accept it. It's attitude, man. A lot of it's attitude. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I know it's like, as we end this, it's like, you always have that in the back of your head. It's like, oh, when you going to start going back to stand up? Because I hear through the grapevine, there's 3 fucking open mics here in Yakima right now. So I'm like, fuck, dude, that's just as good as what it was before COVID hit, dude. But it's just, I don't know. Right now, man, we're just reevaluating our life, man. We've been through a lot the last fucking 2 years, dude. Like, been through a lot, dude. I mean, lots of family, lots of, friends, it's just, I don't know, man. I think, and I say like lost of friends. I don't think I've lost any friends. So we're good. But lost family though. Definitely lost a lot of family in the last couple of years. And I don't know, dude. I don't think I let myself like properly mourn either of those 2 people, And so I think that's a lot of it's like walking away and just like trying to take off, like, because that, it's like, people, I thank you guys that listen and stuff, but it's like not that many people listen to this, so it's like, at that point, it's just kind of like, you want more people listen to it, but it's like, whatever. Again, like you take what the universe gives you, man, and you move on, dude. So again, no tears in the audience today. No tears in the audience. I think we'll wrap this thing up here in a second, dude. But final time, dude, getting to sit down and do this until the next time we sit down and do this under a new name. It's like, hey guys, I got this new show where I sit down in front of a camera and I just talk. It's called Good Times with Kevin Porter. It's like, what's up, dude? Good times. I don't know. Maybe one day. Like I said, I'll keep this feed open. Never get rid of those feeds. I have like 3 fucking podcast feeds that I pay for. And, well, two of them I still pay for. One of them I still have though. I still have the other one, but it's not. Anyway, we got a lot of RSS feeds to play around with, guys. I don't know. I always want to do a Transformers fucking like, dude, reviewing like a TV show. I think that'd be like something I'd totally be down for, is like reviewing a TV show of some kind, just watching it, taking notes, and just bullshitting for an hour, talking about South Park or Transformers or some stupid nostalgic fucking shit, I don't know, man. But let's not focus on the past. Let's focus on the future. Yeah, dude, we're just gonna live life, dude. We're gonna be still here on YouTube, dude, doing video rental chaos. I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess that's really all we're going to be concentrating on, dude. Doing some pickup videos here. I'm trying to like limit buying stuff. I think I'm just like trying to be done with that, but we got enough stuff to run the gamut. We can be like, hey guys, I bought this like 5 years ago. It's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? It's like do stupid shit like that. Do some sketches. I think, we're trying to work on for the next episode of Video Rental Chaos, dude. We got a pretty cool one coming up, dude. If it's already shot, I got to edit it. But it's gonna be a fun one, dude. I'm bringing Brandon Allen in to do some special effects on it, and then I hit up Eric Smethhead, so he's gonna come in. It's gonna be like a reunion of Spin This with Kevin Porter, so that's kind of cool. I we're working on a new show. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, good positive fucking feeling. It's like if there's anything I can like leave with this podcast, is like just positivity, like live life positively. 2 positives make a positive, motherfucker. I don't know. Whatever, dude. Shut the fuck up with your corny fucking bullshit. Just get to Jay Mcnay. It's like that one asshole. Like I had Bahia Mud and Lily on one of our it's a fucking couple years ago at this point. Some asshole like commented, and I've said this before, dude. Who's like, oh, I had to listen fucking 20 minutes of that asshole talk before I got to my friends. Like, dude, there's a skip button, dickhead. Fucking learn how to use the 15-second fucking push forward button, dude. That's what I do. If I don't fucking like something, guess what I do? Or guess what I don't do? I don't comment and fucking leave dickhead fucking vibes around there, motherfucker. It's like dickhead vibes, copyright. It's like, I wonder wonder if that's a website, dude. Dickhead vibes. It's like, I don't know. It's just like porno with like some dude that kind of gets sassy with you. And it's like, what the fuck? What are you looking at, motherfucker? He's all, whoa, damn, dude. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, oh man, ladies, y'all, I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna fucking miss this, dude. I'm sorry, dude. No tears in the audience, motherfucker. Punch him in the face. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, I give you J. Mcnay. Yeah, dude. So I took mushrooms this past Saturday, J. Mcnay.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah, dude. I took some mushrooms in a hotel in a random city here in the United States of America, man. And,
there you go. In a tribal casino.
Yeah, man. I was on the res, dude. Oh shit, dude. Jay McNay, welcome back to the podcast.
How's it going, dude?
It's going, dude.
Set and setting. That's what they say, right? No better set and setting than a random hotel in a random town on a random night.
In a random night, anywhere USA, buddy.
That's right.
Cool, dude. One of my friends is he's Yakima native, dude. So he was we were on a special trip, if you know what I mean. So
yeah. Expanding your third eye.
Yeah, we expanded it. I think we were very successful expanding it, dude. I just I was telling you, man, I kind of had like a bad trip because I kept trying to like ground myself into reality and stuff.
Right.
Like I just kept I was like, I want to turn this off now. Like I don't like not being in control, dude. And
that's the toughest part, right? Just letting go. I mean, I haven't done it in a long time, but that's what they say, at least.
Yeah, because if you let go, dude, you fly off into fucking space pretty much, dude.
Which I guess is the plan, right? That's the ticket you bought in theory, I suppose, right?
Exactly. I mean, most people would just let go, but I don't know. I just I have a hard time letting go of that shit, dude. And I always it always kind of freaks me out because he always you hear Brandon Allen always talk about, you talk to the interdimensionals and shit. I'm like, that kind of shit scares me, dude.
I don't want to talk to them.
I want to talk to those guys. You don't know if they're good or bad. They can tell you they're good, but they may be bad. You don't fucking know that, dude. Yeah. So I don't know. I just I really concentrated on just grounding myself into reality and stuff. And I remember looking at my friend's face and seeing his face, and then those video effects where you see the face and then it goes past you. It's bop, 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 and it's the same picture. Yeah, I've seen that, dude. Like I told you before, because we kind of started recording, because this is the thing, me and you, Jay, let everybody in on a little, how me and you record, man. Anytime that we've recorded in the past, dude, we'll spend 3 hours talking.
Yeah, it's kind of the problem beforehand.
1 hour's only recorded.
Yep. Then we're all right, well, we pretty much said everything. Oh yeah, I guess we should record something now. That's kind of been part of the problem before, but this time at least we caught on.
We caught on 25 minutes in.
Yeah, somewhat.
43 minutes. What am I talking about, dude?
43.
We came out here at 7.
All right, we may have done it again, but
we did it again, Jay.
But like you were saying, I mean, it does sound like that is kind of. It's just you just got to be open to that experience, right? It's not necessarily fun, but it's not necessarily meant to be, right?
Yeah, they say mushrooms is supposed to be a very spiritual journey, I guess.
Right. It's forcing you to kind of take a look at some things that maybe you push down into the day-to-day life, right?
Exactly. And I think acid's supposed to be the more you just see a bunch of fun stuff. It doesn't drive you into your mental deep cove and talking about all your trauma and shit, dude. It's you kind of feel you get it, you understand life. It's you understand your body, you understand I mean, I don't know, I wasn't given answers or anything like that, obviously, but it's just everything that we were saying was very I don't know, I kept telling them our words matter, and just you gotta I don't know, man. It was just a lot of just life stuff, It's I told you, we're talking about God and stuff, and I was I hate it when people say we are God. We're not God, but we're from God. I just remember I was talking about that. Get it right. We're not gods. We're of God, though. So we kind of you're part of God, whatever. Anyway, yeah, there was that, and then just just fucking just talking about everything, dude. It was just I said, I feel we bonded pretty hard, me and my friends on that trip. So never gonna forget that experience ever again, Jay McNay.
In that magical motel room.
the night that we spent, and then top it off, dude, because my wife fucking hates, like, I won't go so far to say that she hates, but she's always been very discouraging when it comes to, stuff like that, like
Mhm.
that type of experience or whatever. And she has her reasons or whatever.
Sure.
We won't go into that, but like, I'm a very honest fucking person, Jay. So like the first time that I did it, obviously I did it while she was home. I took him and then just went home and I was like, I'm on
Yeah,
mother.
I remember that. I remember that one. That was a good. That's a good arc of
It's a
episodes
classic.
in the history of the podcast that no one
Go
listens
back about
to.
a year and a half, guys.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Summer of COVID, or yeah, it was the summer of 2020. It was that shit,
Was
dude.
that what that was? Yeah, they all blurs together. It's so crazy. It's been like, how long have you been doing this now?
So the podcast, man, we've been, this podcast has gone on since June of 2017,
11,
and
12, it's like 5 years or something like that
just about it'll be 5 years this
in
June
June.
if we
That's pretty
if we
crazy.
if we'd made it track it out till
Almost made it.
whatever.
Close
I'm not
enough.
good for numbers. Fuck it.
5-ish, whatever.
Yeah, four. We'll call it 4 in 5 months or whatever, 6 to
Yeah,
4 months or some shit. So
close enough. It is crazy though. Damn, it goes by fast.
it really does, dude. And it's weird. It's weird how time goes by fast like that. I remember, like, not tired back on the mushrooms, but I was like, I had this moment where I was like, I'm 36. I've been here for 36 years, and like I don't remember the clarification on why that stuck out to me so hard. But I just remember thinking that I was like, fuck. 36 years.
God damn.
What the fuck? I was looking at my friend's face. I was like, your face looks old. And he had to wear masks.
We're aging right now as we speak.
He looked all fucking weird, dude. He had like that SpongeBob, like gator fucking mask. And like, I was just like, take that mask off right now.
You sponge bastard.
That scared me, dude.
Yeah, really, especially with all this shit, all the COVID stuff going on. Like, it seems like we're all primed to just like totally freak out. Like, if you really took too close of a look at what's been going on the last couple of years, it feels like you could easily have a freak out. So that's good though, that you just re-examined some things and came away a better person. I guess that's what people say is the ideal kind of experience, right?
Exactly, dude. And that's pretty much where I came out of, even though like I don't know, like I said, man, like doing shit like that, dude, I came out of it just like, oh fuck, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, it's an expense. I mean, they say that's why it's not necessarily, although there's always exceptions to the rule. They say that's why it's not like super addictive though, right? Because it's not like you'd want to do that every fucking night.
I don't know. There's some people, dude, that'll fucking do that shit like
every
weekend if they could get away with it, dude. Like,
yeah, that seems intense.
They must have their life in order, I would imagine, because
maybe
or
not. So out of order, or that's preferable. What the chaos of that trip is preferable to whatever fucking nightmare their life has become, I suppose.
Oh man!
But I can't imagine, because if you're like, it's because like you said, you focus. I mean, you go back and forth, but it seems like you kind of focus on not necessarily bad things, but some stuff that could maybe conjure up some bad feelings. So if your life was really fucked, that would be, I could imagine that could become a pretty horrible experience.
I was like, at one point, dude, I was like, oh, so this is what a bad trip is. And I was like, don't fucking say that. Don't fucking say that. And then like I was like, I know at certain points, because then the next morning one of my buddies like, yeah, I'm sorry I gave you those, man. Like, it didn't seem like you had a really good time. And I'm like, I was like, I did and I didn't. It's like there was moments of really good clarity and like appreciation and whatnot. But at the same time, though, I was ready to fucking give me the check and I'll fucking pay right now. Let me out of here, dude. Like,
yeah. After a couple hours, it's like, okay, I get it. This doesn't have to go till 5 a.m.
Yeah, dude, I literally went to bed. I laid down at 3 and basically just like laid there till 8, and then I got up and like I had headphones on, so I just kept trying to listen to music and shit. But like I just kept waking up and just like your body's not like amped to like I just need some rest now,
No.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
That's the tough part, dude. More and more. I mean, even with just alcohol, but especially with something like that, I guess if you're prepared for it and stuff, it's one thing. But yeah, that next day is so rough sometimes. It makes you question whether it's worth it or not sometimes.
Oh, especially the booze, man. Like when
yeah.
And I give up booze. That was mainly because of hangovers, dude. I can't handle that shit anymore.
Yeah, those are really rough sometimes. The older we get, for sure.
I'll see my wife go through that shit because she still drinks and stuff. So like she loves it that I quit drinking because that just means she gets to fucking drink when we go out,
Yeah, for sure.
and
Yeah.
she definitely takes advantage of that. So it's
Or even when you stay home, it's like, yeah, you can be the responsible one. Make sure the kids don't jump off the roof. I'm gonna have a few cocktails.
oh man, yeah, she was definitely that person there for a long time, dude. I think I look back on it, it's like I don't know if I had a problem, but I know like if I started drinking, typically most of the time, like I would if I was with friends unless I had to like drive home or something, dude, like I typically would just let go. If I had to ride home, I would fucking just get wasted, dude.
Yeah.
you know?
I think a lot of it has, I mean, I was the same way for a long
Mm.
time. And a lot of it just kind of like, that's like what you thought drinking was when we were in high school, like going to parties and stuff. I blame Animal House and shit because you're like, well, I guess this is what you do. You go to a party, you fucking drink until you pass out, and usually it's pretty fun. But yeah, even then you were hungover like shit the next day, and yeah, you start getting into your late 20s. It's like, okay, well, this it can't. If you're gonna keep doing it, it can't be that anymore because that
Mm.
doesn't last long.
Yeah, you definitely have to like find a good, a good medium. And I always found like what, like 4 or 5. Like if you're drinking like microbrews and shit, like 4 or 5 beers is probably a good limit.
Yeah,
You're
for
pretty
sure.
toasted. And even then, like for me personally, dude, like I remember when COVID started happening, dude. Like I would like go home and like edit a podcast, be like, "Oh, let's have a couple beers, fuck it." So then like 4 beers later, and I'm going to bed just like nice and toasted. And like luckily, I wasn't really waking up with like really bad hangovers or anything, but still, it was like it's probably not leading down a good path.
Yeah. And then, yeah, because it's too easy. Then it becomes, yeah, 4 or 5 become 5 to 7 before long. And then, yeah, especially on a summer night. And then,
Mm,
yeah, I mean, to each their own. But
of
ultimately,
course.
yeah, I go back and forth, but I definitely find the weeks where I'm not drinking every night or even most nights, and then you do appreciate it more too when
Mm.
because I mean when the worst thing, whether it's drugs or alcohol, or I mean I guess same thing, but th- that tolerance buildup is a sign that something's wrong. When you could have
Mm.
4 or 5 and not even really feel it yet. Like
Right.
when you're a kid, that's like, well, good. Now you're not like the lightweight or whatever. But the older you get, the more you realize, oh, that's not really where you want to. You don't want to have fucking 7 drinks to even feel a buzz. That means there's something horribly wrong.
Like, guys, come on, come on. It's only 7 drinks.
Yeah, I'm fine. I still feel fine. It's like, well, you shouldn't. You should be able to go home, have a couple, and then
Right.
just get on with life, as it were.
Yeah, functioning alcoholics, man. It's a sight to see, that's for sure, dude. Like
Yeah.
my dad was that way, and he could keep it together for maybe 1 to 2 days that we would come over on the vacation, and then the day drinking kicked.
Starts to, yeah, it's like, all right, I've been doing good. I've earned a couple day beers, I'd say.
Oh,
Then
dude,
yeah, it all
he
falls
earned a
apart.
couple day whiskeys, dude. Like,
Well, that's a big problem too, because that shit, there's no, you gotta, if you're doing the hard stuff with the sun up, like where do you go from there?
I
It's
caught him a couple
it
times
never
doing
ends
that
well.
shit. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he would have. I mean, dude, I mean, you have like I've never had an experience like alcohol withdrawal or anything. Thank God.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I remember one time definitely walking in on him on in the laundry room, fucking pulling off like a half gallon of fucking black.
Yeah,
Just
for
like, damn,
sure.
Dad, fuck, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck are you doing?
Just having an eye opener. Nothing wrong here. Well, that's part of it too, and part of
Yeah.
it's like the culture and the time and stuff too. I
Mm.
mean, I know, like, yeah, my dad came from the uh, era of you just kind of always had like a beer in your hand. They kind of portrayed that in movies and TV and stuff too. It's like,
Yeah, they did.
I mean, we're also stupid. It's not. We like to think that we're not, influenced by that stuff, but we absolutely are, especially when it's something that we get, you get a little buzz from it. So it not only, is there a lot of push towards, hey, why not always have a bud in your hand when you're doing chores around the house on a Saturday, and then before you know it, you have 12
Mm.
beers in a day, but then you also get a little buzz off it. So it's like they grew up in I mean, even what you watch, like Roseanne, John, is it John,
Oh,
the
John
dad?
Goodman,
Yeah, he
Dan.
comes home and just grabs a beer. He
Yeah.
always has a beer in his hand. Homer Simpson was a joke, but he still kind of was somewhat of a portrayal of like the common man, and he was always just kind of swigging off a beer. That was so commonplace back in the day. It seems like it's maybe changing, although people still drink wine like that. It's weird how people talk about wine almost as if it's not alcoholic. There's people drink a lot of wine. Not that I give a shit, teach their own, but when you hear some like people talk about it, like, you just go and have a few glasses of wine at dinner, it's like, well, that's pretty much the same as having 3 glasses of whiskey, right?
It's the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm cultured though, Jay. I'm
Yeah,
cultured
exactly.
if I drink
It's from
wine.
1921. It's like, well, doesn't that just mean it fucks you up even more?
Yeah, right. This is gonna you're gonna get wasted off those 2 glasses.
Yeah, isn't that the point?
Yeah,
Which is
right.
fine. Just be, just admit it. Don't act as if it's somehow something other than that.
It's kind of like how weed is. I mean, even though like I don't know, some people like will argue to the day they die, weed isn't a drug, weed isn't
Well,
addictive,
yeah.
but I don't know. I think weed it's addictive. I don't
Oh,
know, man.
sure.
Like
Absolutely.
I didn't smoke any weed until like I didn't smoke any weed yesterday because of the mushroom trip. But then like today, like I didn't smoke any weed, and like I actually like getting on here, man, because like I was like, oh, this will be the even though it's the last episode of the fucking podcast, like I was like, not too many of those. I do these things sober, And I
Oh,
was like, oh,
right.
maybe
Yeah.
I'll just be sober for this one. And then like right as we got on, I lit the joint up and took a couple hits, just
Yep. Why bother?
well,
Well, that's what I was thinking. I didn't have any claws, so I was thinking, oh, this might be like the first one I do without having any drinks. And then
dude.
I had a little bit of rum, so I made a rum and Coke right before. I was like, yeah, maybe not. Why break the streak at this point?
That's how I felt about the joint, dude. It's a virtual high five on them.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's the last one. What are we trying to prove at this point?
We're not trying to prove anything, dude. We're just 2 dudes talking on Zoom, bro. That's all we're doing.
That's it. It's a good time to end it, though, man. I think podcasts have jumped the shark as a whole. I mean, there's still some good ones, but I saw the fucking mom for the blonde mom from Modern Family was on some show the other day pushing her new podcast, and it's just over. Everybody has a fucking podcast at this point.
Well, look at all this shit Joe Rogan's going through right now.
Well,
dude.
right,
like
that's as successful as you could get, and that's what you get for it. Neil Young calls you a fucking murderer or whatever the fuck.
You killed people, Joe.
Neil,
go write a hippie song, Neil. Come on, go back.
So crazy. What a world we live in at this point.
But I think you're all right. I think podcasts in general like really have like jumped the gun in the sense of because everybody and I think that's why nobody fucking listens to this shit, dude. It's just like because everybody and their fucking mom has a podcast, dude.
Yeah, at this point.
And don't get me wrong, man. I do like there's still certain podcasts I listen to, dude. I get all my news mainly through podcasting, for the most part. But yeah, when grandma could pick up a fucking cell phone and record herself because all you're doing is just recording yourself. Like,
right.
You talk about glorifying wine, it's people glorifying the a podcast. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people do put a lot of fucking effort in. I was not one of those fucking people, dude.
No. So if you're they never used to be like even Rogan's back in the day was never about effort. And that's the weird thing about nowadays, because you do see a lot more like Serial and all those true crime. There was the production value is way high. People realize they can start making money off this shit, which is like the worst thing that can happen to any art form or whatever you want to call it,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never made one fucking penny from this podcast.
At least you can say that. You weren't a sellout. You would have been if you could, but
I've been paid $14 a month to host a fucking.
you ended up paying what's $14 a month times 5 years?
Yeah, right.
It cost you in the long run, but
yeah.
I mean, you kind of mentioned before we started recording, but yeah, I mean, I think I may end up missing it more than anybody, because especially for a time there when we were doing those open mics and stuff, it was basically like, it's funny that you say everyone has a podcast. What there should be is what this kind of was for me to a certain extent, which is everyone should have a podcast done by someone else, but about, in a way, their life. Because I would just listen to this and you talk about shit, and to a certain extent, Killing Time also, they would basically talk about what happened at the last open mic, which I was at, and knew all the people they were talking about, even though no one else in the world did. Like me and 4 other people knew whoever the fuck they were talking about, but I certainly enjoyed it. So if no one else, me and that guy from Texas will miss it.
Hey, could have been a girl. I don't know, dude. I have no idea.
Maybe. You never know.
It is
transsexual.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring up that time frame of the podcast, because that that was like 2018, 2019, probably.
Yeah, even that was like 2 years ago, which is crazy to think. It seems like just this COVID fucked everything up. It really, I mean, it's a cliche thing to say now, but I still remember when it was like, we'll give it 3 weeks and then maybe we'll go back to the open mics. And now it's just 2 years later. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I guess that's over now. That era.
Never going back, even though there's still open mics. Like Ron
Yeah,
Etting's been hitting me up, dude, trying to get me to go back because they started doing another open mic down at Punks, like, which is basically the
yeah, I heard
one place that we
about
always
that
went to.
It used to be Hop Nation.
Hop Nation, yeah,
I
that's
love
right.
Top Nation, man. Everyone hated it. There was no one ever there, but that was some of my funnest times going down there and bullshitting.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's where I first met you, dude. Like it was at Hop. I don't even remember
Probably,
really
yeah.
the first time meeting you, to tell you the truth, dude. I kind of like,
Me either.
I remember it was definitely at Hop Nation. I remember you
It
and your
must have been just in that
girlfriend
parking
were
lot
there.
because that was part of the fun where we used to always just kind of hang out
Yeah.
in that parking lot before and after. Also,
Yeah, no, I also remember like probably like one of the first time talking to you. Then also, it was, it was when we were outside, like when we were talking about wrestling. It was me, you, and Jack Hennessy.
oh yeah,
We just started talking about wrestling. You're like, oh, W just got the WWE network. I'm like, oh
oh
yeah.
that's right,
I
yeah.
think, yeah, dude. I mean, that's
That
definitely
corresponded right about to that, yeah.
we bonded over professional wrestling. That's for sure.
As it should be.
As it
Yeah, it
should
was
be.
fun. I mean, like I said, there's no one ever there for the most part. There's a couple nights where there was a handful of people and it got fun, but I definitely have some good memories. I remember it's so funny because I don't have a lot of memories because of the drinking and stuff. Like there's a lot of nights that are just kind of a blur
I
in my
understand.
personal life and when it comes to that. But there is some things that stuck out. I was laughing the other day because I just saw him playing. I forget who he even plays for anymore, but I remember I was on stage, I think hosting an open mic at Pop Nation when the guy on the linebacker on the Cleveland Browns, like tried to hit that quarterback with his helmet. Remember when that
Oh
happened?
yeah.
I remember
Oh
I was up
shit.
there like trying to peddle my fucking shitty jokes to like 4 people that no one cared. And I was like, oh wait, forget what I'm saying. Everyone look at that. Cause they had left like like all the bars did. They just leave the TV going in the background. And it was like Monday night. It must have been Monday Night Football because I think those were the
No,
days
that
we
would have
did
been
that.
a Thursday night game.
Oh, was it Thursday?
Yeah,
Okay,
it
yeah.
was a Thursday night football game. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. And then I just remember was watching that guy just attack him with the helmet
Wasn't
and
that a,
trying to
the
riff on that.
Steeler? Fuck, I thought.
I forget what
Maybe
his
I'm
name
wrong.
was
I don't know.
now, but I
Yeah.
saw he's still playing, and they gave him like man of the year or something. Like no one even cares. They're like, yeah,
Jeez.
whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I know that Hop Nation, man. Yeah, because now it's like they have. I think the stage is actually downstairs because it's
That
new.
sounds
Like,
pretty cool, actually. I
so
never went
yeah,
downstairs, but that might be cool.
yeah, because they've been doing punk shows there, obviously,
That's
because they're
pretty
new.
badass. It's
But
called Punks.
yeah, it's just called punks, which at first you're
Interesting.
just kind of like, well, come on, but hey, it sticks. It's been a while since I guess they've been open for a while now, but I don't know. Ron's
Interesting.
been trying to get me to go down there, but I'm not ready. Like I'm just not there.
Yeah.
I mean, if Joey Diaz ain't doing fucking comedy, I don't know if why am I doing comedy?
Exactly. I don't know. It just for whatever reason, it's just tough to get back in. And then yeah, I'm just kind of the same place where it's just like, yeah, I don't unless I'm gonna fully commit to it. Like, what's the point of just
Yeah.
kind of going sporadically and stuff?
That's kind
But
of I did start thinking about it though. It's like if I'm not going to be doing this podcast all the time, like I think maybe I don't know, like springtime is kind of like where I'm like maybe I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of
yeah,
just wait and see. And if I don't
see how
feel
you
it in
feel.
spring, then I'll be like maybe fall then.
Yeah, who
Reassess
knows?
every couple months.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're just doing it for fun or whatever. And it was
Yeah.
fun. I mean, there
Mhm.
was aspects of it that weren't fun, but ultimately it was fun and it was cool to kind of have, even if it's all in your own head, like
Mhm.
something going on, or for lack of a better thing to
Right.
call it. Sometimes it sucked because I know you had to that kind of balance. It's so stupid that you would even feel anxiety for going up at Hop Nation, or I would, but you would have to kind of.
I always had
Oh
anxiety
yeah,
whenever
I
I
would
go
wake up
anywhere.
the day of and have to be like, oh fuck, okay, and
Yeah.
but that in retrospect, sometimes that's kind of good because it does kind of push you to,
Mm.
you're doing something that if you can convert it from anxiety to kind of anticipation and excitement, it all kind of comes from the same place. So it was kind of fun, that aspect, all the aspects of it. But
Right. No, I think that's yeah, I think that's a good analysis of it, dude, because yeah, it is fun to like be able to get up in the morning like, oh shit, we got open mic tonight. Okay, I gotta run my lines through my head. I gotta fucking, whatever like your prep was for the day and shit. And just I don't know, it's game day, that's what it was.
yeah,
It was like a game
yeah,
day.
it
And
did kind of feel like that.
It was nice. It was nice at the end there before COVID, dude. Like where we had 3 open mics, dude. And it was like, I don't know. We're like, this is the day of like, you're listening to fucking, bring his name up again, but Joey Diaz, and you listen to all these like, comics that are out there fucking just nailing it. And you're just in your head like, oh, maybe one day. And it's like, and then fucking like just COVID hits, dude. And it's like, fuck, like I started getting back into it again, like, about a year ago or so when drinking games opened back up, and I started going I went there pretty regularly there for, I don't know, maybe about 2 months, but like once they closed that up and everybody moved to fucking Bills, like I don't know. I don't know. I felt bad for Ron, cause like Ron's putting all this fucking effort in, and then, and again, then, Brian starts the Bills open mic, which is fine, dude, we need the second open mic, but it's like, why the fuck was it the same fucking day? Why the fuck didn't like Brian fucking tell Doug, hey Doug, by the way, we have this other open mic that takes place the exact same time, the exact same fucking day. You want me to host it? We need to do it on another fucking day. Like there's 7 days in a fucking week, dude. And from what I hear, Brian didn't fucking push back at all. So like, no, no hard feelings or anything about it. But like, I kind of felt loyalty to fucking Ron at that point. I was like, nah, I'm not going to go.
Right.
So, and then I just stopped going, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Cause I figured eventually I would go. But then I just never got the will to really do it. I was like, I got comfy coming home. I started doing that video rental chaos shit and was just like, nah, I'm good. I'll stay home for now.
Well, especially if you have that to kind of like, a place to put your creative energy and stuff like that. It kind of fills the same gap to a certain extent.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't actually have to get in front of fucking, 20 fucking people and eat shit.
Leave the house and fucking drive home at fucking midnight and get 4 hours of sleep and all that. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of shitty aspects of it too. Constantly be worried about fucking doing the same jokes in front of the same fucking people for the 5th time in a row. Like, yeah, which does ultimately makes you better. But yeah, it was it is what it is. It's good and bad aspects. I'm certainly like, I mean, I'm prone to this anyway, but I haven't really missed it. There's certainly times. It's just funny because like hearing like you and like Anthony talk about it the other episode, and like there are times when I think about it or hear like you guys talk about it where I do miss it, but most of the time I'm happy just being lazy and not worrying about something constantly, just coming home from work and turning my brain off. It was a lot, man. You come home from work, you'd have like an hour or something, then you got to go do that, and then. Yeah, it was a lot for sure.
No, dude, I totally get that, man. That's like partly why I'm stopping this podcast, is take shit off my plate, dude. I'm kind of burnt out on just doing the podcast fucking every week, dude. It's like I kind of started getting back into it. Obviously, you saw Anthony was on there, and I felt bad because I kind of hit up a bunch of fucking people. Like I hit up Jaime, shout out Jaime Garcia, shout out Take Back, those dudes, because I was gonna have them on and shit, but like. I just kind of came to the realization. I was like, I'd rather go fucking play Call of Duty with my fucking 11-year-old than.
Well, yeah, man. And you can make a good argument that that's a better use of your time ultimately. Like if you enjoy it, do whatever you enjoy. But at the same time, it's like, if there's a part, if you feel like I'd rather be hanging out with my kid than doing this shit, then there's no reason to fucking do it. If you want to, if in the future you're like, oh, I feel like doing it again, whatever, nothing's stopping you,
Yeah, and I've kind of always been bad about like knowing when to hang it up. I think because I did that TV show for like 9 fucking years, but like
really, I don't know for that long.
Yeah, we did it for that 9 fucking years.
That's
man.
A long goddamn time.
Yeah, but like with that thing, it wasn't weekly though. Like,
really?
Like, that was the cool thing about this podcast, was like that was like the dream come true for me, dude. Because like I was always like, because in my head I did it for so long because it was like, man, if we could do this every week and actually like put out a show and develop the skills on this shit instead of like. Because like it was basically like I'd have days off during the middle of the week, and well, actually before that it was a lot. It was just like I don't know. It was like basically do it when you had the fucking time, basically, right?
Right.
And it was just so like we'd shoot, and then I'd have to go in and edit. I'd only have one chance to edit during the week, so things moved along like really fucking slow. Like when you're only editing like 2 hours of 2 to 3 hours or whatever a week. And so like the episodes would like we got it to a point to where it was like we'd get an episode out like I want to say like. At least almost every 2 to 3 weeks, it felt like, between like 2012 and like 2014 or something. Like we got it on like,
not bad.
Had a real good skeleton crew and shit. And so, but I did that for way too long. And then this podcast, it's kind of like, like we were talking about, those days of like when we were doing open mics and stuff and like hitting it really hard, dude. Like I was doing pretty decent on this podcast. Like I had a good amount of numbers, dude. But then like
Oh yeah.
COVID hit, dude, that summer. And then like everything is like, I took a break for like 3 months, remember? Like that's after
Oh right, yeah.
fucking Stanley died and shit. And then like I came back, dude. I never recovered like a large amount of those fucking people, dude. So I mean, it is what it is, dude. So like, and that's why I told myself a year ago, I was like, if this shit ain't fucking pulling numbers in like it was, or even close, it's why even bother? And then the other shit I started doing, it's like those are pulling in way better numbers. Like, why am I even doing this podcast anymore? No one's listening.
Right.
The podcast no one listens to, literally.
Yeah, it's not. And those are, a little more fresh. It sounds like you're having fun. Those are cool to put out and actually, like you said, actually get a little bit of a response, or at least see some numbers from. So yeah, why not refocus your energy for a bit? Doesn't hurt anything. That's, I mean, even you said like Joey, that's one of the things he preaches too, right? Where it's like try everything, see what sticks. He is the old school type of guy, and I know, generally speaking, I would be too, where he would just like wouldn't even think about doing the online stuff. But then when you start to do it, I mean, obviously it's probably fucking saved his career or his life, that now that he has the choice whether or not he actually wants to do stand up, Yeah,
because I think he's only making his money off the Patreon right now. I
Must
think
be, right?
Yeah, because he does because I do subscribe to his Patreon still.
Oh
and
yeah.
He talks about it and shit. It's like he's like he's basically done, So, and I hate to like compare myself to him in any way because I'm not like that good in any way. But like I just kind of like, oh yeah, it's like, well, and when I said that earlier, like I wasn't like really joking about that. Like that's like he's not fucking doing it, because like I used to draw motivation off him when it came to like when we were doing open mics. That's why like I got into the podcast like I'm doing shit every fucking night, dude, whether it be podcasting, like, I'm still, doing what I have to do. And it's like, and now that everything's just kind of stopped and stuff, and it's just like, why?
Right.
Now, it's like you've brought it up a lot of times, and I know it's just like self, like, just like not necessarily trying to get an ego or whatever, but like, it's like, why, it's like not, when you really look at it, like none of us are going to like really probably make it statistically off any of this shit, right?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
But like in my head, I said this to myself on the mushroom tribute. I actually went like off on it, like pretty fucking hard about how like I'm fucking over the thought of fame.
Well, but that's it too. Yeah, it depends. You just gotta change what your definition of make it is. Make it is enjoy it. If it's something that you enjoy doing, then by all means do it. And if whatever else happens. But yeah, anyone doing anything. And I mean, I'm sure there's fucking algorithms you can plug into, like, the fucking YouTube people, the what's it, like the Jake Pauls of the world or whatever. They have like a system where they maximize profits. But what if you don't, unless you want to literally sell your soul and try to become some sort of like, half-rate influencer or something. Yeah, there's not.
No,
exactly. Which sounds like a literal like horrible nightmare. Then there's not a lot of with so many options and stuff. There's not a lot of, but yeah, exactly. You just have to decide what making it means,
and
what success is in your own mind.
Yeah, and I think I've always like kept that same idea, of like, as long as I'm happy doing what I'm doing, then like it doesn't matter. But you just always have that. I've just always had that, dude, for the last like fucking 15 years, man. I've always had that in the back of my head, like, don't stop. What happens tomorrow if this happens, or just you never know what's gonna. And I guess maybe that's just me just driving myself to keep going every single day. But I don't know. I don't know. I've always kept that thought in my head, and that's why I've just never given up on like projects and stuff, and like. And maybe it's just a motivating factor and just a way of keeping me going.
Good.
But
it's good, and there's some truth to that. I mean, you said that one guy a while ago who like started some, I don't know, was it video games, like a video game YouTube channel that just kind of for whatever weird reason happened to
John Riggs, yeah.
So I mean, shit does happen. It just, I guess, so much of it, none of it's like overnight, like you see. Like I'm sure that guy made 1,000 videos or whatever before he had it. So it's never like. We like to think that, there's varying, I guess, levels of success, it seems like.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I just need to like I said, the mushroom trip like killed that ego in terms of that ego that I had for that. And man, I'm going to start playing video games with my kid, dude. I think that's my goal.
Why not? Fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Especially like I don't know if I approve of Call of Duty, but we talked about the other day. He was playing that Detroit game. They play those
Oh
games that like
yeah.
there's what are it's the dark it's like the dark anthology or something like that that are basically like choose your own adventure movies that I like playing with
Mm.
my lady friend. Like that'd be kind of cool stuff, especially because they're all like morality tales and stuff. So depending on how deep of conversations you want to get in with your kid, you could even like, well, I see you decided to kill that woman there. Why did you do that? Or couldn't you have chosen to? That'd be kind of open up at least different conversations. Instead of having conversations with Brandon now and on the podcast, you can have conversations with your kid over video games.
Yeah, that's very true, dude. I didn't know
But
that.
probably ultimately better for your mental health in the long run, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, dude, he's it's fun hanging out with them, dude. Like my kid's my oldest one's like 16 now, dude. He just got his driver's license and
That's
shit, dude.
crazy.
So he's kind of like off in his own, la la land of being a fucking teenager. So like me and my 11-year-old have just been like really kind of like bonding like a
Hmm.
lot over the last couple months and stuff, just doing shit on our own,
That's
So
fun. What is their
yeah.
like? How do they have any interest in making YouTube videos or something, or is that generation kind of over that shit?
No, they're definitely not, dude. Like my youngest, like my 11-year-old, he we did our own podcast, like it
Right,
was
I vaguely
totally
remember that. Yeah.
totally was it I forget the fucking name. No, that was
It was
us.
something
Totally
about wasn't there
necessary.
like a ninja one or something for
Yeah,
like
like
three
Ninja Funtime
episodes in the
Hour, some
feed?
Dragon Ball Z
Yeah.
Happy Funtime Hour. That's it.
Yeah.
And he did that. He did that for just about a year, dude. But like it was such a
Not
struggle
bad.
with him. Like I just be like,
Oh
all right, you
yeah.
gotta do your podcast. I don't want. I'm like, dude. I was like, if you want to stop, like we can stop, like anytime. But like if you want to do this, like we got to do this every week. Oh god, it's like pulling fucking teeth with his ass sometimes,
Yeah.
dude. And but my niece is like all into like YouTube shit. And like when
Yeah.
she was staying with us for a while, I was like, yeah, I was like, dude, just fucking check my shit out, dude. Like I'll fucking help you. And then she like last time she was over, she's like, "You fucking post too much." Like I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I always get notifications about your YouTube page," and I'm like, I don't watch it actually, but I was like, "Why don't you watch it?" She's like, "I don't want it." I was like, "She's like, you're lucky I subscribe," and I'm like, "Fair enough."
Thanks for the subscribe.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, dude. So I don't know, dude. But my oldest dude, he's all into like he's completely opposite of me, dude. He's like he like works with his hands and like builds shit. Like he's really
Oh,
good at
interesting.
Legos and like he's into he does welding in high school and shit and like
No, there you
shit
go.
like that. So he's kind of like a little fucking redneck basically.
Well,
Um,
ultimately, probably the more and more everyone else forgets those skills and tries to do podcasts, like those
yeah,
probably end up making 100 grand a year or something if it becomes like an underwater welder or something.
yeah. His mom's like my mom. His grandpa has like they work in the trucking industry and stuff. So like they're all like, oh yeah, which you can make a shit ton of money in the trucking
Yeah,
industry.
dude.
Yeah, so I always tell them, I'm like, don't let them fucking push you into anything. Like if you want to fucking do something else, like dude, like I got your fucking back, like
Hmm.
but like it's nothing like that. It's not like they're trying to pressure him or anything. But he does a lot of stuff with his grandpa and stuff. He's really close with him and shit. So they're always like
Yeah.
they're the ones that do the fucking bees. Like that's why my house looks like a fucking just like a compound. Like just like we got fucking you. I know you haven't been out here in a long time. We built a fucking fence line over
Uh-huh.
the like right before winter, I guess, back like September or whatever, August, September, and like we pushed all our chickens back, which is fucking awesome because they were shitting all over my fucking porch every fucking. So like they'd always come up to our house. They'd have to chase them out and clean up that shit like every fucking day, pretty much. But now they're fenced in, and now they went out. They've been raising pheasants. We
Oh,
got fucking
really?
pheasants
Interesting.
everywhere, and then we also fucking bought like 5 turkeys.
Oh,
These
nice.
huge fucking turkeys roaming out there and shit,
That's
dude.
funny.
Yeah,
What do you call? Is that what is that? What do you call a bird sanctuary? Like a
we
terrarium or something like that?
aviary.
Aviary. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
actually have one of those, dude. We they posted up. And mind you, I didn't do I helped them with the fence here and there and shit, but like they put up an aviary. They actually like literally you walk in, dude, or you drive down my driveway. It's right there, dude. Like it's got the net and everything. So we're all like, yeah, they can put birds out there and shit now.
That's funny. That's interesting.
Yeah, we're preparing for the apocalypse over here, Jay. So
Yeah, I hear you, man. I talked to my brother last weekend. He's up in like the Lacey area. So he's just got like a normal house in the backyard, and he's kind of he's in that same kind of realm. I mean, I know you're kidding, and he kind of is, but he was talking about getting what was he on? He gets kind of new things every like few months. He gets a new like hobby he's super into. But I think he was saying there was rabbits in the backyard to get ready for the apocalypse, because you could because of how fast they breed, and you can get the meat, and I think something about using their shit as fertilizer. It's like, dude,
we have wild rabbits around here, man.
Do you? Well, yeah. There you go.
That's a good idea, though.
Yeah, apparently he was saying. I guess apparently their shit is like one of the few animal shits that you can just use just without treating it or anything as fertilizer. Like a lot of stuff you can apparently, and I guess rabbit pellets you can, which I'm like, yeah, that is pretty good. Good to know. If the world does it and you got to survive off rabbits, I guess that's a good thing to have.
Let's grow some tomatoes, dude, and just use fucking rabbit shit for it, dude.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, yeah, talk about how hard it is to fucking podcast and open mic. That would be a real hard life. You realize when you start to try to grow your own, it's like if you really had to grow your own food to live, it would be. I grew like 2 tomatoes all summer, like that were like good enough to eat. It took me like 3 months. I don't know how people grow like a bunch of food. It's fucking hard,
dude. So much fucking work, dude. Like you gotta it's like work. Especially if you're trying to like grow a shit ton, dude, you're like you're out there every fucking night pulling weeds. Those weeds like hit so fucking you take off like a fucking couple days, dude, you're fucking behind.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's your whole life.
Yeah, that's what we do every year, dude. And every fucking year, dude, like we try to stay on top of it, dude, but eventually like the weeds just get in front of you.
They just win. The weeds just win every year eventually. Yeah.
Because like the family's all like, we gotta fucking grow a million fucking things because fucking Armageddon's coming. And it's like, maybe Armageddon will be here one day, dude, but we need some fucking Mexicans out here helping us, dude.
Yeah. When that happens, we'll go recruit some people to come
we need
out.
Some day labor. Come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I mean, at that point, I might just say, let the apocalypse take me. I can't. It's too hard. I'll welcome the sweet relief of the atom bomb. I hope it fucking drops right on my house from Russia. I don't want to be one of the fucking sad bastards left picking at whatever remains. It's no fun.
Like, honey, come help me with the corn. It's like, fuck it.
Oh, fucking kids all mutated and shit. It's like, no, I don't want that world. And I'm not going to be there. Everyone thinks they're going to be the main character. Like you're going to be fucking Mel Gibson and Mad Max. You're going to end up being one of the sad bastards, like being led around on a dog chain by somebody or something, Yeah,
we're going to be like,
no, thank you,
noise, dude. We're just background noise.
Yeah, you're one of just the weird background like images that flash of, hey, look at this sad piece of shit. It's kept in a box 24 hours a day.
Oh man,
nope, I don't want anything to do with the apocalypse.
You will have nothing, and you will like it.
It's gonna be weird though, man. I mean, I like to. It's so weird when you hear about. I tend not to believe every poll I hear, but there was one going around the other day about how like half the country thinks that like America is headed for a decline, and that we're going to be in a civil war, like all this fucking crazy shit. And I don't know, I don't think we are, but at the same time, just knowing that that's how everybody, or at least that's how like more than half the people walking around feel, like that's their mindset, is like, that's pretty sad. It's a sad like sign of the times that everybody's so like depressed and stressed out that they can't even be optimistic about the future.
Yeah, I don't know, with all the lockdowns and everything, it's like a lot of people. I think people are kind of at their fucking breaking point, dude.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it.
I work customer service, dude, and like if you would have asked me 5 years ago, like how on an average day, how many like rude customers do you deal with? I'd probably say maybe like, I don't know, 90. I would say 95% of the people are probably decent. You deal with, right? 95% of the people are fucking decent. But now, dude, I would say at least maybe like that's double, definitely. I don't know, 10 to 15% of the day, dude. It's like people like just don't want to talk to you, and they're just fucking rude to you, dude. And it's like, that's crazy. Dude. Even my wife, dude, like in her field industry, like some of the drivers that they have and shit, like they're like getting yelled at by people and shit, dude. And just like people are just like, just people are fucking pissed off, dude. They're stressed out.
Stressed out, man. That sucks. It's such a weird like thing. It's just like a weird cliche, but it really is like that's everything, just like
Mm.
those little interactions that you have with people throughout the day. And it's like, I mean, it's kind of like, was it the South Park thing or something that I was watching about how
Yeah, it
like
was. No,
we're all
they
just
yeah.
walking around like just in a fucking bad mood, basically because of the internet and social media. That just like no one's cutting anybody any slack. No one can just be like, yeah, just talk to someone else. Like you look at everyone like, oh, what side of the fucking political spectrum are they on? Instead of just, oh,
Yeah.
there's another person who maybe I can have a nice interaction with.
Yeah, just cutting some people some slack, I think really would go a long way, dude. Instead of like jumping down somebody's fucking throat, be like, oh, what's going on in their day? Why are they like why you know what I mean? Like not necessarily taking action off the cuff, dude. Like
Right.
I was driving back yesterday, dude, and I don't know if we can like, put this up against like kind of what we're talking about, but dude, like I'm going like the speed limit, if not like 5 to 10 miles and over, throughout the whole trip, right? So
Mhm.
like mainly 5 miles over, right? And like I had people just passing me left and fucking right, dude. I don't know if that's road rage or something, dude, but like it's just like, dude, like can't you just go with the fucking flow and
Yeah.
not fucking blow a head gasket just because somebody's going fucking slow in front of you? I don't know.
People are aggressive. It's One part of it does seem like the internet and the lockdown and stuff, and like, and how like, as nice as it is, how like catered we all are to, like the advertisers and everything, the internet, the whole point of social media, the whole point of tracking everything we do is so they can cater everything, they so that those ads that come up can be what we just searched for and stuff. And it's nice, but then it kind of makes everybody into like a weird little tyrants where they feel like when they go out into the real world, if that's not catered specifically to them,
Exactly.
if not everybody gets out of their way, it's as if like it's an affront. It's like,
Yeah.
instead of sharing the world with everybody, it's like, well, what the fuck are all these people in my way for?
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's like people think that like their opinion really fucking matters, dude.
Well,
It's
that too,
like
yeah.
it's just like people are just like I'm fucking important, I was inconvenienced, like fucking Soder's joke out that last special days. Like I was inconvenienced for a tiny thing that I spent money on, and you own the fucking world now, and it's like, dude, calm
Yeah.
the fuck down, people. Just shut the fuck
Hmm.
up and mind your business, dude. Like something gets fucked up, well, guess what? Maybe just don't go there again. Don't
Right.
buy from there. It doesn't the person that you're talking to probably doesn't give a flying fuck, and you're probably the 10th person that day that's told them the exact same fucking thing. So mind your shit, dude.
Yeah.
Unless
They
they're being
probably
rude to you, like calm the fuck down.
Right. Unless this guy said, hey, I made this pie for you and it was full of fucking beetles instead of apples,
Mhm.
and you could go and complain to him specifically.
Mhm.
Like the guy you're talking to, if your fucking Whopper or something you bought at the store wasn't exactly right, the guy you're talking to probably isn't even the one responsible for it. So there's no
Exactly.
reason to
Yeah.
fucking be screaming at his fucking face.
Yeah. It's like, dude, we got Chinese food last night. Guess what? They fucked up our order. You know what I didn't do? Calling them up and yelling at them.
Yeah. Go back and throw it in their face. Yeah, just cut them a little slack. Be like, it's probably a busy night. It was Saturday night. What are you gonna do? Be like, I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm not, dude. I walked in there. I was the only person in there.
okay, well.
They had takeout orders, though. They do a lot of takeout orders. So,
Ultimately, though, it just comes down to your own, like, even if you want to be selfish about it, just for your own mental well-being, you're a lot
mm,
better off like assuming good things. That if
right.
you're just going to stress yourself out, if you just, you're a lot better off just being like, well, the person in front of me in line, you know is probably, or the car driving in front of me or whatever is probably going slow for a reason, or maybe I don't need to fucking go 100 miles an hour. Then just being like, what the fuck is this person doing? You're just gonna give yourself a heart attack.
Just kick on the Motley Crue song. Ah, just
Mm-hmm.
fucking fly by. I'm just like, you sons
Ted
of I,
Nugent.
I swear to God, like 10 fucking people passed me yesterday, dude. I'm just like, dude, I'm not even going slow. Like the whole trip on the way there, dude. I passed one fucking car, dude. And that's because the guy was doing like fucking like at least 10 under, dude. And it's just like, dude, that shit I can understand. Like, get fucking mad, dude. But like, come on.
I
Fucking
hear
go
you,
the
man.
speed
I
limit,
always
bro.
get fast. I'm always scared of getting pulled over, so I just usually set the cruise control to like
Yep.
5 above the speed limit and just cruise in that right
Yep.
lane.
That's all I do, dude. Yeah, man. Well, I was on that Highway 12, dude. So it was just like a one way. It was like the two
Oh,
lanes.
right, yeah.
So yeah, if I was on Snoqualmie or some shit, dude, probably wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, that is the worst though, because then that ends up being stressful for you because you see the guy coming up and you're like, oh fuck, I'm already going 80. This guy's coming up on me
Yeah.
hot. I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking speed up anymore, but I guess all he's gonna fucking yeah, that I driving is tough. I'm not a big fan of driving in general, that's for sure.
Yeah, dude. I drove home yesterday, dude. I was like, fuck, dude. I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah, that's a tough drive home.
I just slammed like coffee, like a bunch of fucking coffee, dude. And my friends all like fucking, yeah, let's get some fucking Burger King. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna puke if I fucking eat. I wasn't that hungry. I just don't eat a lot when it comes to like anytime I ever have like booze or anything, which I think I've said this on the podcast before, dude, but like if I would get like really hungover, instead of like eating food to kind of like, because you tend to feel better anytime I have done it. Like you tend to feel better after you eat. But I just like, I don't know. I have this thing where it's like, I feel like if I eat, I'm going to like throw up again or something.
Yeah.
This is how sick I was.
For a while there, I was getting like, yeah, when I was drinking a ton, like in my 20s and stuff, I would just keep like a bunch of like watermelon or something that's like just barely food, but mostly water. So you can like just rehydrate and feel like you ate something, but not, yeah, something too heavy.
Yeah, it's like
That's the thing about like the you're saying the set and setting thing though. Like nowadays, I mean, you do what you got to do, but ideally you would like set out not just one night to do something like that. You'd have like the next day where you just stay in that same room, or ideally even a better like a cabin or something.
Yeah.
And you would just like spend the whole next day just getting back to normal, not having to fucking drive 2 hours and go home and go back to work or whatever.
Yeah, luckily I didn't have to work the next day, but it was like a very impromptu mushroom session. Like we weren't
yeah,
like we just kind of got there. He's like, "Hey, I got mushrooms." I was like, "Oh, take mushrooms." But no, I was gonna say this about that is I don't think I said it, dude. But like, so I told my wife about taking the mushrooms. She didn't even give a shit, dude. She was like,
oh really?
Like, oh yeah, was it fun? She's like, I'm not happy about it, but like, I'm not gonna stop you from doing you. And I'm like, so I can do mushrooms again? Like,
I'll do them every day.
I'll do it again. No, I'm not. I'm done, dude. I'm done after that shit, dude.
Yeah, it's too intense. Like you said, I don't like to be out of control necessarily. Maybe I'm not open enough to expanding my mind, but I like to just kind of chill. I don't like to fucking have to hang on and be, fucking
grounding yourself in reality like every 5 minutes.
Like what was that? Like fucking Commissioner Gordon through that fucked up tunnel of love and that fucking Batman shit. Just trying to drive you completely insane. Like that's fun sometimes, I guess. It can be beneficial, but I'm not really looking to do that most weekends.
Well, I can see like maybe taking a smaller dose. Like if I could just get the body high, like before you start hallucinating and all that shit, like I like that. That was fun.
Yeah. I would say the last time I did it was like a few years ago. And literally that's like all it was, like just a very little amount, just because the guy didn't even, or the person we were hanging out with didn't even have that much. Literally that's all. Like I was walking home and kind of just like, oh yeah, I think I feel like the wind on my skin feels a little different. But other than that, it's like I don't really feel anything. It's like that level is what I'm looking for at this point in my life. Not really anything extra. I'm not looking to be sucked up out into the universe right now.
Like you see, like I don't know, because like at one point when it was kicking in and shit, like I was like sitting on the bed and I looked down at the carpet and I just like, you kind of like I started concentrating on it a little bit more, and then it's like woo, it starts like waving, and I'm just like, okay, cool. That's fun. Visuals like that are fun, but I don't need to be like closing my eyes and boom, you're like just seeing all this shit, dude. And it's like, I don't know, like Brandon always says, I
don't want to talk to God. I'm good. I don't need to talk to the God planet. I'm good. He's up there doing his thing. I'm down here playing some Madden. I'm good. I don't really need to talk to him.
Yeah, dude. And I don't know if we said it on the podcast. I think we said this off mic, but yeah.
Oh, was that off? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that either, man. Like, I'm just like, I don't know if those things are good or bad, dude. Like, I don't know. They say they're good, but I don't fucking know. People are like, that's what happens when you die, bro. That's what happens when you die.
It's like, well, I'll wait. I'm not ready yet. Hopefully by the time I die, I'll be prepared for that. But I'll wait my turn then in that case, because I can't handle it right now.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, I took all those mushrooms. They were right.
Yeah.
Then you breathe. We got him back. No, the permanent mushroom trip is over.
At least that, I know acid seems like the one that could potentially do the real mind breaker sometimes, right? Because it's more like chemicals. I think most people usually come back from the psilocybin at least.
Yeah, you hear, man, if you have like if you're like, you know, psychotic or whatever, or you have like
Yeah.
mental issues and shit. Like if you take psychedelics, like even you know, fucking cannabis can do it to you.
Sure. Look
Like,
at Owen Benjamin.
oh
Speaking of
god,
Joey Diaz.
yeah, no shit, dude.
I
That's
don't
a
know if that's really. I think they say that jokingly, but there
mm.
maybe have been some connection.
I mean, yeah, he may have had like a religious experience off that, dude. Because like I know when I was on those mushrooms the other night, dude, I was talking pretty fucking clear. It felt like about God, dude.
Yeah.
It felt pretty clear, at least the shit I was talking about.
And sometimes those THC edibles, for whatever weird reason, can hit you in a way where it does like.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just like a little bit of a body high, and sometimes it can really like send you into a different stratosphere. Like you said, especially with some people, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, especially if you close your eyes. I've noticed like if I do those like 100 milligram like sodas and then like I go to bed, you know, like while I'm still like
Hmm.
really high on it, like I'll fucking see like it's not as intense as like a mushroom high, but you see like colors and you see shit, you know.
Yeah.
There is shit when you close your eyes that and like, you know, I close my eyes now, it's like I don't see it. But like if I were like
Hmm.
100 milligrams deep,
Yeah. It reveals some truths to you,
yeah, it just
especially the sodas. It seems maybe something to do with the liquid. Maybe it just gets into your
mm,
bloodstream quicker or something. It seems like the
maybe.
sodas really do get after you.
Hey, I haven't done one of those sodas in a while, dude, but like
Me neither. I was doing them for a lot for a while there. Then I was like, they're a bit. I don't really. They're almost a bit much for me at this point.
I fucking did it one night, dude. I thought I didn't panic, but like I definitely was like my heart, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack. And like my mind just like went
Yeah,
fucking schizo
that
on that, dude.
anxiety. Yeah, it's funny because you know when they kick you. I knew for a while there when I was doing them a lot. You would because sometimes with some stuff like if you eat like just like a little cookie or something, you're like I don't even know if it kicked in or not.
Hmm.
But with those, there'd be times where I didn't necessarily know, but I'd be like, oh yeah, my heart rate is like 200 and it must have kicked in. Like you just
Right.
like you feel like the anxiety build before you even know what's happening a lot of times.
I
Which
can
is good if you
yeah.
write it. If you write it right and you have it's set like it's a set setting. Like you're
Mm.
like, okay, I'm gonna fucking turn the video game on or whatever. Everything's fine. I'm safe. Everything's good. But yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do it in just randomly, just in a random hotel or something. An unfamiliar setting would be you could freak out pretty easily.
Yeah, dude. I know. I was just like, I am not okay. I am not okay right now.
Yeah, where am I?
Well, dude, that happened to me because like I kept trying to like trace back the fucking night and shit, dude. I was like,
Right.
I kept asking them like, all right, so when did we go to dinner? And they're like, we went to dinner at like 8. I'm like, well, when did we take the mushrooms? They're like, and like I'm like, did I drive? Did I drive? Like,
How did I get here? Where are
dude,
we?
I freak out. Like I don't freak out, but like anytime I was drinking, dude, like and you know, like I would just fucking the next day, dude. Like if it was like a loaded night, dude, you just retrace your steps in your head. You know, I'm sure everybody does it, but just like
Yeah.
I do that to a point where like I panic myself sometimes, dude. Like
Well, yeah.
I have to call people up and like make sure that I, you know, nothing bad happened or anything, you know.
Yep. That's always the worst. The blacking out. That's
Mm.
yeah, that's the worst when you wake up and have completely lost track of some of the night. It's like, oh man, that is a bad feeling.
I hate that, and then yeah, I don't like yeah losing control, man. It's like smoking a little weed and yeah having a couple of beers is fine, but like call me good. I'm tapping out on the site. I'm tapping out on podcasting and fucking psychedelics.
That's it, man. They're both too extreme, both too much.
Both too much, dude. Damn, dude. So I think we're getting to the end here. I think we're about ready to hit a fucking hour, Jay McNay.
That's it. The end of an era, man. The end of the
Yeah.
show and the whole damn thing. What are some memorable moments for you? Who would you
Ah,
say is the? I mean, I think we could all agree that Mike Folk would be the worst episode.
oh God.
What are some of the best that you remember?
Ainsley's bitch boy.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
so
he is
funny to
now,
see
dude.
him on news. Some occasionally, like I haven't seen it lately, but occasionally during
Mhm.
the COVID thing, you would see like
His
a
name.
statement on the news that like at the end of it would say like Mike Folk, fucking whatever director, like communications or whatever, you know. It's like
Yeah,
that's so funny to think of that guy.
he's just such a douchebag, dude. I
Yeah,
don't know, dude. He's just such a fucking. I mean, he's a liberal fucking asshole, dude. That's all he
yeah,
fucking
just a
was, dude.
classic like yeah, it's almost like he's out of the internet or something, just like the classic
Stereotypical
person.
fucking
Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I took satisfaction when like and I'll say this, I if all right, and this kind of just this isn't necessarily podcast related, but I will say the funniest part during that whole run of like open mic when we were all doing that and everybody, we had all that group chat and everything, dude, was when
Mhm.
Brandon Allen handed fucking retired Mike Folk from stand-up comedy and sent his
Yeah,
ass back into Olympia to be Jay Inslee's bitch boy, dude.
that was pretty good.
Because he just fucking tore into him on that group chat, dude. And then like I heard through the grapevine through a mutual friend of ours, like he did a set at he was he did a hosting set at fucking at Bill's, and he fucking
Yeah.
just ate shit because I think he got too drunk or something. I don't know if that was it,
And
but
then
like
that was
I
that,
took
huh?
satisfaction in that because I just always thought he was a fucking asshole, dude. So
Yeah, he wasn't very yeah, he just came off as a douchebag.
yeah,
That's a perfect job for Brandon Allen too. He's like, yeah,
he
if
just
you point him in the right direction, he can actually be that type of personality can be a benefit
yeah.
at times.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, in terms of like best moments, man, like I mean that first, like it was cool to see how the podcast grew just from like me recording it on my fucking cell phone to like,
Oh yeah.
being like, okay, we're gonna do this legit. And then like we branched out doing other podcasts and stuff. I mean,
Yep.
we did Are You Ready? As people
Yep.
can see from your graphic stuff. Which
Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
stand by that fucking
Sandman,
dude.
baby.
I love that dude.
I know I saw that before I went on. I was like, maybe we should change that. I was like, nah, I'll leave it. I'll leave
No,
it in
dude. No,
remembrance.
man. We gotta put that up. We gotta put that on a t-shirt, dude. Just for me and you, so we have
Yeah,
some
dude,
history,
for
man.
sure. Yeah, so we don't
uh,
get copyright infringement.
yeah, right. So, no, dude, fuck that, dude. Fuck like WWE probably would say
Sandman. I would worry. I'd be worried about Sandman himself knocking on my
right.
door.
Shows up, you owe me fucking 24 case of fucking
Yeah, he's
Budweiser.
literally like, he looks as you owe me $48. You sold 2 t-shirts. Like, what?
We didn't even charge that. We only charged $10, dude.
Interest.
Interest, right? I don't know. Yeah, it was fun to see it grow, dude, especially through the open mics, because I felt like, I don't know. I remember Brandon Hug telling me, he's like, you're like the Joe Rogan of Yakima stand up. Like, that's kind of cool.
That. Yeah. That's 0.00001% of Rogan, but it is there's some truth to that for sure.
Yeah. So that was cool. But like in terms of guests, dude, like you were always one of my favorite guests, dude. And that's why I chose you as my final guest, dude. But like I always had good podcasts with Brandon. Even the last one that we did, we got banned off YouTube.
Yeah, that's funny. That's memorable for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely memorable. And that was just a couple months ago. Fuck, man, I don't know, dude. Like I never really, like, honestly, like I didn't really even go into this thinking like, oh, this is the final show. It's like I'm kind of like more like, I'm just kind of happy it's over.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
So
a relief at this point, probably.
yeah. So I haven't really like thought like too much of like
Yeah.
I would say
was always
definitely
fun.
you and Brandon were my favorite guests on the show.
I always enjoyed Jaime. Like you mentioned him earlier, and that is one of the things too. I was going to say, like as cliche as it is, like when I look back on like that, I guess it was basically like a year, give or take, that I doing the open mic thing. Like you do meet like some interesting, like cool people that maybe I would have otherwise not ever met. Like Jaime was a great guy. He was really fun to hang out with. He seemed like a really nice guy. Like Anthony, all those guys. That is one of the things that like Joey mentions all the time, and that you really do find to be true. Where it's like, even at this level, seeing like who goes to the open mics and the type of people that you meet doing shit like that, it does really open you up to a whole just group of people that are different than you normally meet, but we're all mostly all cool. Mike Folk was kind of a douche, but I don't remember any like bad people, like very few like real assholes. Everyone was kind of like, because there is something about going up and, embarrassing yourself in front of a fucking bar like that like you do feel a little bit of like, camaraderie with all those people, and you kind of, everyone's a little humbled by it and stuff, so like whether it was Jaime or like Bahia was awesome. It was fun. Remember I went and saw Bahia in Tacoma when she opened for Roy Wood Jr. That was fucking awesome. I'll never forget that, so there's definitely a lot of cool aspects that came from it too.
Yeah, I think you bringing up Bahia's name is definitely like she was always fun to have on the podcast. Those ones, like the first one I did with Bahia and Lily, I remember that being like one of the funniest fucking times I had. Like
she was good
talking to him. Bahia is definitely, I don't know. I've known Bahia, I guess, for a while now. I've known her her and Anthony I met back in the day, like in Carmen's Comedy Club, dude.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Seeing where she's gone and like taking her career, dude. Like I'll argue that she's the only professional comedian in Yakima, know?
I mean, she is the best. She is the coolest thing the fact that she's
she
actually
is a
really
doing it,
dude. Really opening for people, doing the thing, and then still like being a mom and having her job and everything is like, yeah, she's the real deal more than any of us by far.
Exactly. So, all right, I guess
You should have one. That she's the one that should. You should tell her to have the fucking podcast.
I talked to her about it. I've talked to her about that before. I don't know what her. I haven't talked to her in a while since last time her and Lily were on. That was the last time I think I talked to her. But but if you're listening, to start your own podcast.
Oh, and also I was gonna say it is kind of cool because you mentioned how it went from you recording on your phone, like again, just I mean, it's a theme for this episode, I guess, but it's like what Joey Diaz also always says, where it's like do things and you never know where they're gonna lead, because like with your shit, you started recording on your phone, you got all this equipment, including the camera to do the podcast, but now you're doing the video rental chaos thing. So like it didn't end up being the chaos or the podcast that you did, but it led to now having all the equipment to be able to do the YouTube thing. So exactly. You never know where things are going to end up when you start them.
That's great words to fucking end this podcast on, dude. I don't think I could even say it better myself, dude. 100%.
There you go.
All right, Jay Mcnay. Well, for one final time, dude, thank you again for coming on the podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.